Hello there. Well, I have something really freaking awesome to show you. And I mean it. What I've got to show you all is this. This is a 1984 General Electric Newvicon tube video camera. Thing still works. Now, I've been dying to do a video about this thing, but for certain reasons, I just haven't gotten around to it. One reason is because it is a process to set this thing up. I'm not kidding. Look, you've got the camera, and you've got the VCR unit separate, and the camera plugs into this 9-pin connector. It's either a 9 or a 10-pin connector. I don't remember which. Then you've got the AC adapter going to the wall. And of course, I'm going to want to capture footage of the camera directly into my computer. So I've got, coming out of the VCR, I've got my EasyCap device. And, yeah, when I first turned this thing on tonight, I didn't even think it worked anymore. It was just showing me a blank video signal in the viewfinder. And I was like, oh crap, is this thing working still? You know, I thought maybe the tube died, but it still works. Now, you've seen me use this camera before in my interdimensional transporter video. But now we're going to get a closer look at it, so rather than just going on about it anymore, let me show it to you. So, we've got our viewfinder here, microphone, and of course, this camera is very bulky to carry around because you've got both units. All this stuff is actually separated when it's packed away. The microphone is separate, the viewfinder is separate, the handle is separate, and of course the VCR is separate too. And you've got to plug it all together when you put it together, when you want to go use it. And let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. You just have this little power switch down here. Now this power switch actually turns on the VCR and the camera. So not only does that wire transmit video and audio, but it also transmits power to the camera. So when we turn it on, a little light comes on. You can't really see it though, but yep. Now this is actually a full-on VCR too. You've got speed adjustment there, you've got all your controls that you need, plus a clock. It's a little excessive, but it was cool. The tape actually pops out the top here, just like this. Whereas the newer VCRs actually, the tape came out the front. But in the earlier VCR models, it came out the top. So that's kind of interesting. On the side of the VCR, you've got your input jacks for another video source of some kind. And then you have your video out and audio out jacks, as well as an RF connector, your channel selector for the RF, C manual, and you've got a remote jack for a separate wired remote, a microphone jack, and a tracking knob. Now this up here, this is actually a strap. A strap hooked into that side and on this side, and it was a shoulder strap that you could carry the VCR around with. So, I mean, it was bulky, but it was portable. I mean, that's how they did it back then. It worked for the time, so yeah, gotta give them credit. So that's the VCR unit itself. Now on the camera, it's a lot more stuff. Back here you've got controls for the blue value and the red value. I've never seen that in a camera before this one. You've got this switch here. Operate, gain or standard, standby. I have no idea. I just leave that alone. And you've got negative or positive. I think that actually controls the video. Like if you look in here, I can't really see it with my phone's light. Yeah, you can't see it very well. Yeah, that negative or positive switch actually inverts the colors in the in the video signal, so you can actually get a negative filter in your video. Pretty nifty. But anyway, even though the VCR is separate from the camera, you actually still have VCR controls on the camera itself, like the newer camcorders have. Of course, you got your camera in VCR mode. Play, pause, slow or advance, rewind and fast forward, but in this case it's called scan. Insert. What are you inserting? My finger on the button? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Here's your handle. You pull that out, and you swivel the handle around, and then you could, carry it on your shoulder like that. And rests on your shoulder. This thing actually has a stereo microphone. I don't think this is a stereo microphone, but you can connect one if you want to. And then you have a switch on the microphone itself. Reverse or normal, I think that means. I'm not sure. And then that ejects the microphone. That actually lets you take off the microphone. You push that button down and it slides right out. And then the microphone connects into the camera right there. As I was saying before, everything on this thing is disassemblable. Now over here, we've got more stuff. You've got mode button, or no, that's the fade button there. That's fades in and fades out. White or black. I don't know what that does. I just leave it alone. Check this check button. Now, in the viewfinder, you can't see it right now because of my phone's light, but there's a status screen. Actually, you can kind of see it a little bit, but there's a status screen showing, like, the camera's current status. It says filter, outdoor, auto white balance, okay. Light is low, focus is set to auto, gain is set to standard, and recording time is 0 hours, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. So you see that screen every time you first turn on the camera. And to get rid of it, you press check. Now you're ready to record. And then, over here is mode. Now this is, I'll go back to this a little later because it's a little involved. Display, I'll go back to that a little later. Now, over here is where it's freaking awesome. This camera has a built-in titler. And this is a full keyboard, a QWERTY keyboard right on the camera itself for typing in your own custom titles. That is fucking awesome. And you've got this interval timer. I'm not sure what that is for. You've got this, S and R. Title, off or on. I'm guessing that turns on or off the title. Reverse. I don't know what that does. Here you've got your clock adjustment. So you could set your clock, your internal clock for the camera. And this is where all the titler functions are. So you can change the size of the text. You can edit where the text is on the screen. You could change between saved titles. So I think you could have a maximum of like 10 different titles saved in the camera. So you could like select a title that you put in before. And let's see. So we've got this that just snaps shut. Over here we've got the manual zoom or auto zoom. We've got the manual focus here. It's also got macro. You've got iris. I don't know what this is for. I just leave it alone because what I don't know what it is, I just don't want to screw it up. So we've got white balance adjustments here. Switch for brightness. And oh, this is the indoor-outdoor switch. I'll bet. Right? Yeah, that switch actually changes it from indoor to outdoor mode. So that's what that does. You got your auto white balance switch there, or you've got full manual balance. That's pretty cool. Push to focus up there, where you have manual focus or autofocus. Focus out. See, like, I didn't even notice that button existed until now. That's how many freaking controls this camera has. Like, it has so much shit on there that it's so much to go over. And, like, I don't even know how much shit this thing has until I play with it more. But anyway, so yeah. Am I forgetting anything else? I was forgetting a couple things, and I'll go over them right now. The mode button here actually changes between the date display and the titler display. The display button actually calls up the display of the text, whatever mode the text is set to, whether it's the date or the titler. The call button here actually lets you select which title you have saved in the camera. So you could have like 10 different titles saved in the camera, and you could choose which one you want to show using that call button. The scroll activates the scrolling of the title. The color changes the color of the title text. And I think there's like 10 different colors you can choose from. There are a lot of different colors. And last but not least, over here you have an actual stopwatch. Yes, as in like a lap stopwatch. Like that you would use for running laps on a track or something. Why it's there, I have no freaking idea. But I guess it's in case you're recording, you know, like a running marathon or a biking marathon and you need to keep lap times. It's one way to do it is using this camera. On your handle here, you've got the zoom in or zoom out. It's got power zoom. And you've also got the record button. Oh my gosh, my phone is dying. That's how much shit there is in this camera. Like, it literally made my phone die. Holy fuck. Well, this is what the front looks like when you're recording. That light goes on. It's got a lens cap right here. And it's got an auto light sensor there, I believe. So, now that I've shown you the outsides of it, let's take a look at some actual footage from this camera. Alright, here's the camera recording. My parents are home now, so you're probably going to hear them talking and stuff. This is that status screen I was talking about earlier. Shows you all this stuff. To get rid of it, you hit the check button.
Mommy!
Mom, this is going on YouTube.
What?
Yep.
What's going on YouTube?
This video that I'm recording.
No, it's not.
I'm doing a camera review. And it's going on YouTube. So, get ready. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like this. When you're recording, since it's a tube camera, you can see that there's strobing effects with the light. Any light source, it'll have like a strobe effect. You can see on the picture in the background there's like a streak. That's the effect of Newvicon tube cameras. There's my dog right there. I'll try and zoom in with her. I gotta bring the handle down. Okay. Zoom power works. I don't think automatic focus is on though. But that's Ivy. Dad's in there watching TV. It doesn't do too well in low light conditions, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And that basically covers it. If you want to see the time, I think if you press display it'll work. Oh, no, that's the titler. That's what it looks like. You could see all the different text sizes that you can use. Just ignore my mom. She has no idea this is going on YouTube. Yeah. I think if I press mode though, it'll... Yep, there's the date. That's what it looks like when you're got the date up there on the screen. Oh wow. Maybe I could show you the scrolling. Let's try it. Yep, see that's how the text scrolls on the screen. It's pretty cool. You can start and stop it anytime you want.
Tom, are you yapping to yourself again?
And that's how it works. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later.